You have just successfully broken a cycle. Okay? There's something about what you actually have chosen to say no to is what's allowing you to step out of this role of people pleasing. I feel like this is a major milestone in your journey because I don't think that you've ever had I'm hearing the willpower to say no. I don't think you wanted to be doing this. Nobody really wants to be a people pleaser. But there's something about your conditioning, maybe the way you've grown up, maybe the way that you felt you had to like appease to other people in order of being worthy or validated or seen. But what I'm getting is you're letting people see you for you this time. And that sometimes requires you to have to step outside of the role that like people have placed you in the roles that you've placed yourself in. But you're stepping into a new sense of inner power and sense of inner authority where you no longer feel like you need to revolve your nervous system around other people's. That's it. Your nervous system around other people's. I almost feel like you could even be the kind of person that like when there's an opportunity for you to say no, you would maybe feel like this rush of anxiety, your heart racing, your chest tightening, like this constant like anxiety, anxious thoughts happening where you're like, if I really say what I'm thinking, this is all going to go downhill, that I'm going to get yelled at, I'm going to feel bad, I'm going to be scared. So there was like a big sense of fear in stepping into like your truth. And I feel like for a lot of you, you could have grown up like suppressed or like your voice was never heard, you were shut down, not comforted during, emotional moments. I'm getting you've had to become your own emotional regulator. So like saying no is actually you choosing to regulate your nervous system, as much as it might feel dysregulating when you do end up saying like no, or I choose me, or I need to walk away from this. It's going to make you feel anxious because that's flaring that system that you're used to. Like, say you would just give in to people, it would ease that anxiety, not for you, but for the sake of how you would feel this person would feel. So you were consistently doing things for other people's approval. I'm telling you, I feel like you've just done something, or you're thinking of doing something. This could even be multiple areas of your life where the second you actually step into self-ownership, everything changes. Because the way that you rewire your system to believe in yourself more is going to change the way that you show up in this area of your life. I just feel like this cycle has been something that's been tormenting you. And it could have even been like an unconscious thing that you were doing, just this constant fear of anxiety around letting people down. And coming to the realization that the only person you were letting down was yourself. Meaning your voice has been suppressed. People have made you feel like your opinions or your say or your thoughts were wrong. And you know what? If anybody makes you feel like your honesty is something that needs to be shifted, then that's kind of where you can shift their energy in your life, shift the role they play in your life, and realize that you are the one that gets to have the power to call that energy back. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody an explanation even. And I feel like that's where you're breaking that cycle, is not needing to explain why you're saying no. You're just saying no and you're choosing you. This is like the most protected your energy has ever been. There's like a huge vortex around you that feels like you're actually creating a very sacred space within yourself, within your journey, so that nothing can penetrate it that isn't meant to be there. Because I'm getting there's something very protected about your path, because you're somebody that is meant to, you have a lot of answers or a lot of creative ideas that you're meant to go far in life. There's something here about you are meant to go far, because there's so many cards in this message that like signify, your destined life path, but we all get to create our own destiny. So there's something about you're creating a sense of destiny, or a sense of like fated encounters, fated alignments or opportunities in your life because you're choosing it. Okay, so there's something about like you're choosing this next path. You're not letting anybody else tell you what to do. You're not letting anybody else guilt you into what you think you should be doing. You're choosing something outside of your comfort zone, but it's actually the most comfortable you've been. It's going to make other people uncomfortable. What I'm saying in part one, that people pleaser in you. It's not like choosing outside of the norm makes you uncomfortable. It's that it makes you uncomfortable because other people are going to be uncomfortable. Damn. I feel like it's been so ingrained into you to like when you make a decision, you're not even the first one that you're thinking of. You're thinking of, how will this impact this person? How will it impact this area? How will it impact... When has it ever been, how will this impact me? How will this benefit me? And I think that's where the shift is coming from. You're actually shifting a whole entire like timeline where you were just constantly over giving, constantly pouring your energy into places that just didn't feel right, didn't align to you. And this doesn't even have to be like people that have made you feel bad. It could genuinely just be that you were constantly saying yes to things you didn't really feel like doing, being around people you didn't really feel aligned to. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about just choosing you. You could even feel very reserved at this time. Like your energy feels like secluded, or people feel like they have limited access to you. And it's not that you're limiting access, it's that you're protecting yourself. And sometimes that looks like you're blocking people out, shutting people down, but sometimes that's where this next version of you is birthed into existence, is in those quiet spaces when it's just you. And sometimes you need it to be just you in order for this next path to truly like line up to what you're wanting. Because you have a vision. There's something you're envisioning for yourself. Because the Tree of Life, the message, and the Moonlight card coming out, this is fertility, creativity, destiny, magical blessings. You're creating something right now. And this also could have to do with like travel or something involving a love connection. I don't know if that resonates with you, or like seeing your potential in somebody, or like somebody's reflecting back your potential. You're getting really inspired to create something right now. But then the message card is like positive news, positive outcome. You could have even received a message, could be this one, received a sign, received some sort of like inner confirmation from your higher self that's telling you this is what I'm meant to be doing. And it's because you're choosing that this is what you're meant to be doing. You're not letting yourself, downplay it. You've downplayed yourself for too long. It's time that you actually realize like the greatness that exists in you. And that comes from choosing yourself first, because once the external noise quiets, the internal one becomes louder and more clear. So that's where you're following this new path, is you're actually listening to you for once. You're choosing you for once. You're stepping into the embodied version of you that listens to their soul, because you're not somebody that's here to follow the crowd. You're not here to do what other people want. You're not here to settle. No, you're a creator. You're somebody very talented and gifted. And whether that means, doing things on the side, starting over in life. You're at a point in your life where it feels like a complete reconstruction, reevaluation, where everything before doesn't even make sense anymore. And it's because you weren't meant to settle there. The universe is going to push you into uncomfortability when you're not meant to settle. So the fact that you feel this means that you're not meant to settle there, and that you're feeling called to something greater, because that is what exists in you. Okay. I think I'm going to do one more part, because there is a lot of tarot cards that I want to get into. So what I'm feeling for you is that nothing's gonna stop you. Okay, and I know that sounds kind of like, ugh, but there's something in you right now that's been ignited, that's been inspired, where it's almost like this driving force. It's not ego-based. This is not like a fast-paced, I need to do this now. It almost feels like I'm so inspired that if I shut this out, I don't feel like I'm following my soul. So there's something about your soul is screaming for this next level of expansion, but they're not screaming at you like to shame you or to rush you. They're screaming at you to answer them, to just listen. That's not going to force you, but like the longer you suppress it, the louder it's going to get. So I'm getting you're at a breaking point. But this doesn't feel like anything dark. I feel like it does feel like a conflicting energy though, where you might be battling against a past identity. Because right now you're outgrowing them. I'm feeling you're outgrowing a whole entire reality. And that could involve certain people, certain habits, certain mindsets, certain ways of existing. What I feel is your whole entire existence is being flipped upside down, so that everything that's not meant to be there, everything that is not in alignment to you, can literally fall away, so that all that remains is truth. And sometimes all that's left is you. Sometimes all that's left is you. And that's where this next creation, this thing that you're about to be starting, is about to completely change your path, change your life. Okay, because there's so many cards here about like action and manifestation and like not giving up. Because I'm getting you're not here to give up. There's something in your soul that you've never been the type to give up. No matter what circumstance you've always, this is not a tattoo I drew on myself. I don't know if anyone noticed that. But there's something in you right now that is not letting yourself prevent you from reaching like your higher self. I'm getting your higher self is so prominent in your being that to deny them would be to like just choose to be oblivious. You know what I mean? And I'm getting, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be that version of you that chooses to settle because it's too hard to choose yourself. I'm getting, it's actually feeling harder to not. So like the 9 of Wands, 8 of Wands, the Magician, and the King of Wands. Sorry, these cards are weird. It's like the 9 of Acorns. I forget what they mean. But so first we have power, perseverance. You're starting to see how powerful you are, how much perseverance has actually pushed you into this space where it's allowing you to choose this path, where it's allowing you to push past your limits, but not in a way that like overwhelms you, but in a way that catalyzes you. I'm getting, you're being sent a catalyst, or you're being initiated in some kind of way. And sometimes that does come with like things dying. Okay, there's an identity of you that's like really just ripping off of you. I'm getting like you're taking off a mask. And then the 8 of Wands, that's energy, results, quick pace. You know what I mean? Like something's happening quick, but like you have the energy for it. I'm getting your stamina is increasing, and you're seeing results. I'm getting you're actually starting to see the results, because the Magician card coming right after that, willpower, creation, you know, because you know that you have it in you. And then the King of Wands right at the end, stepping out from like all of that other energy where you were constantly like thinking of other people. I'm getting, this is the time where the most creative spark unlocks, is when nothing outside of you can have any sort of grasp over you. I'm getting the grip of your past is no longer. The call of the future is stronger. That was good. No, but seriously, this feels like very like intense. And I don't want to make you feel like this is some like huge thing that you need to like pressure and hype yourself up over, but it does deserve hype. It does deserve honoring. It deserves the pace that is comfortable, but also pushing yourself a little outside your comfort zone. Trust, and also letting yourself slow down in this, because you don't have to do everything like right now. This has to be done by this time, by this. It's almost like the more that you let yourself flow with the natural energy that's birthing in you, the more it's going to feel aligned to you. Because if you start feeling like you got to rush this, you got to do this now, you got to like be perfect, then that pushes you into that space where you're not fully feeling it. You know what I mean? Like when you just flow with it, just watch the magic that unfolds. Because the magic isn't like outside of you. It's not what you can receive. It's what you're creating. And your creation is then what brings everything that's meant for you into you, whether that be financially, in your career, in love, in yourself, in your vessel, your mind, body, spirit. Like I'm hearing there's a connecting between your mind, body, and spirit. And I've said this in messages many times, even yesterday, I think, but there's like a mind, body, spirit connection that's happening right now. And it's almost like I just see like a light expanding through you. There's something like breaking through you, and it's through your creation. I'm getting everything that's been stagnant, it's coming up, and the more you clear it, the more clear you become. So this is literally the first card that came out. It's okay to say no. This is just like the final reminder that it's okay to choose you, even if it makes no sense to anybody else. The only person it has to make sense to is you.